the Sports Betting Network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go, back in the saddle after vacation. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort Casino. Busy, active program coming up today. Our guests coming up bottom of the hour, David Purdom, a professional bettor, placed 46 bets on one player in the NBA over a short span of time. And that player, again, has been under investigation now for a couple of years. That's coming up at that time. Jeff Sherman on the program from the Westgate Superbook. We'll get into their football contests and NBA futures now that the Summer League is over with. We'll touch on today's Major League Baseball card, a couple of the best teams that we'll break down today in the National Football League. Paulie, good to see you again. A week off. How you feeling, bud?
Good. I was stretching before the show and hurt myself. Got that? The leg came up.
It's fun getting old.
And my thumb, and there was blood. This is unbelievable. But I'm ready for the PK challenge if we ever do it.
Oh,
though.
yeah. You'll stop Nigel Seeley. No problem.
Yeah, good to see you. All right. We're getting close to the final week until we have football until February.
How about that? Yeah, next week. What are we, 10 days away?
Yeah, Hall of Fame game. The number's up. 1-33.
33.
Chargers-Lions next Thursday.
Bit high, the total there for you?
Seems about right.
Okay. We will begin today's show with weekend betting takeaways, Paulie. And number one has to be golf, right? Because it's like the mailman. It always delivers. Now, I get it. Most events are much closer than what we had over the weekend, and there's a lot of drama. You might get a playoff as well. But we also can't appreciate the dominance of Scotty Scheffler at the same time. That was remarkable. And the thing was basically over with going into Saturday. He was so good.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of ruining things from a viewership in terms of the casual fan, right? Or the golf fan, because he's so good. But from a betting standpoint, it always delivers. Because imagine the winner without markets.
Sure.
How crazy that was. And English must have been 100-1 or higher. And then you had the top 5, top 10 shenanigans and how that played out. So huge tickets cashed there on Lee. English got her up. And then how about DeChambeau from 144th to close top 10, what he did, his amazing turnaround.
Sure. What do you think DeChambeau was top 10 after Thursday?
Yeah, good point.
To be where he was completely
monster.
Stuck and going to miss the cut, and then he completely flipped it like you said.
Yes.
Now,
yes. Also Fitzpatrick's another one where what Clark was able to do. So, again, a lot of this stuff you can do in play as well, but the top 5, the top 10s.
It was a great leaderboard.
Yeah, and the first round was great, too, with the 5-way tie for first round leaderboard. With that, so it was just nuts with some of the big tickets that paid out. You got to get it because he is so good. You have to get involved in the winner without markets.
Here's the mistake that I made because after Scotty won the PGA, I still found a rogue plus 480 on him to win the U.S. Open when other books were like at plus 375. I'm like, I have to take that plus 480. He closed around plus 275 for the U.S. Open, didn't win. Then he got beefed all the way up to 6-1 here at Circa and at the Westgate and some other books. And that's a bad job by me because I never bet him at 6-1. I would tell you that anything above in the 5-1 range on him moving forward would be an autoplay in majors or basically any other event, but you're not going to get that kind of a number on him. And looking ahead to the Masters next year, look at some of these numbers. 4-1 at FanDuel, 3-1 at DK, here in Las Vegas, plus 350 at Westgate, plus 275 at Caesars Palace. Like, you can kiss the 5-1 or certainly the 6-1 goodbye.
Yeah.
Phenomenal story with that guy.
Yep.
In Major League Baseball, the Brewers. Now, how about this? They finished off not only the weekend sweep, but the season-long sweep of the Dodgers. And now their betting numbers have been on the move, obviously, as a result. Updated odds to win the NL. I saw us down as low as 10-1 earlier today. And I know that your takeaway was basically, I think it was before yesterday, but these division prices in baseball are nuts.
They are. So Milwaukee, longest winning streak go back 13 in a row in 1987. That fun team, Rob Deere and that crew, which started the year 13-0. So they have the long winning streak. Yet the Cubs are still minus 260 to win the division.
I know.
At Will Hill Caesars. The Yankees are $1.10. Toronto keeps winning. Toronto has the huge series that starts again today against the Yankees. Yet the Yankees are $1.10 to win the division. The Phillies are only $1.80 to beat the Mets, who are reeling, and all of a sudden have issues at home and pitching woes. And the Dodgers have lost 10 of 12, yet they're minus 2,000 to win the division. I think the door could be open for San Diego, who's got a doable schedule coming up. And then I still don't, it's a good run here, the last two series, but I still don't trust Seattle. I think Houston's too cheap. And you can find them in like $1.70 range at DraftKings to win the division. So I think, there's some of these markets and odds are out of whack to win the division in Major League Baseball.
Don't be afraid to do some division parlays.
Yeah, right.
I'm not afraid to do that. And I've done it with Milwaukee. That was like during the All-Star break and the week before.
Yeah, Cubs can't be 260.
Oh, no, wait. 260 is way too wide. They're tied for the 1 seed right now, Milwaukee is.
That's right, yes.
So, and they did this, by the way, to the Dodgers like this month, right before the break and now right after it as well.
If they win tonight and the Tigers lose, latest they've had the best record in baseball since 1982.
The year that they went to the World Series.
That's right.
All right. Also, the Summer League finished last night. Hey, look at that. The Charlotte Hornets won it. I won a bet. 35-1 to win the Summer League.
Wow.
They finished it off last night against Sacramento. They were super impressive. I'll give you a couple of takeaways on that team specifically for next year because I love the draft this season. And I'm not going to get completely nuts here with the Hornets, but some of the stuff that I noticed over the weekend and even today, because I think that team is absolutely on the come. You can get their win total is 24.5. At DraftKings, they offer alternate numbers. For example, 30-plus wins or over 29.5 is plus 220. I bet 14-1 to make the playoffs on this team. ESPN bet has 250-1 to win their division. That is a crazy number.
Well, between all these star players that are out in the East, and another thing that helped your case, now Paul George will reevaluate him before the season starts. So, again, the two worst contracts in the league are on the same team, Paul George and Embiid. I'm going to zag a little bit. Well, even though you cashed a ticket, I think this is hard to bet. Because look at the Atlanta scenario. They go undefeated, don't lose a game, but they can't make the semis because of point differential.
That was an absolute killer. I had them.
Yeah, that's a consolation bracket, but Atlanta goes undefeated, and they can't get in the semis. The other thing, too, I told you before vacation, I was going to monitor how the moves went.
Sure.
This is just Friday and Saturday alone. Magic from 4.5 up to 5.5. The Jazz plus 1.5 to -1. Pelicans 2, open 2, close 4.5. Lakers 2, close 3-point favorites. Knicks plus 1.5 to -5.5. Toronto -3, bet up to 5. Pistons open 2, close 4.5. Portland -3.5 up to 5.5. All lost. All lost.
Oh.
And a lot of them in spectacular fashion. Like blown out.
Oh, yeah, killed.
Like the game yesterday. 5-point move on the Clippers, lost by 23.
That's
I can't bet.
remarkable.
Yeah, and a lot of these moves were not even close.
Trust me, I am not pointing to the scoreboard to tell you that, hey, man, I hit Charlotte 30. I have more on that coming up in an hour. I will rant on that for a minute because it's absolutely preposterous what some of these books do. But overall, it was a fun event. And how are they a dog over and over and over again, and they're blasting everybody?
Sure. Yeah.
One more. So on the NBA, we'll go to the WNBA here. And over the weekend, Team Collier defeated Team Clark in the All-Star game, 151 to 131. Nafisa Collier had 36 points, 9 rebounds, named MVP of the game. This is the year of the Minnesota Lynx. They're plus 195 in that neighborhood to win the title. They're still behind the Liberty. They're better than the Liberty. She's minus $750 or minus $8 to win the MVP. Awesome story here. They're 20-4.
Haven't lost at home. That was some win that the Chicago Sky had. Beat them before the break.
That's right.
Yes,
yeah,
but they're going to be tough to beat at home.
Are they? Do you think the Liberty are better than the Lynx?
No.
Neither do I.
No way. Nope. Another one. All sports leagues and commissioners should take a look at what poker did last week while we were on vacation. Michael Mizrachi won the main event, $10 million. He made the final table, I think in 2010, and finished 5th. He also, for the 4th time, won the prestigious Players' Championship, $50,000 buy-in. So he wins the main event. He gets the bracelet. They pay him the money. Right into the Hall of Fame. Beautiful ceremony. That's how you do it.
Sure.
For the Tom Bradys, the Derek Jeters, if you're all-time good, no waiting list. Just put the guy in the Hall of Fame right then and there. Well, you got to get to wait for 5 years, whatever. It's like that was unbelievable what they did. They brought out Helmuth, they brought out Ivy, they brought out other Hall of Famers, and they said, "Here's your money. Here's your bracelet. Congratulations. Oh, by the way, you go right into the Poker Hall of Fame because what you just pulled off was once in a lifetime. That was a great job by
Sure.
Poker.
And what is he, 40 years old?
Sounds about.
I believe is what I was reading online.
Well, come on, what a career! Think about what he just did.
Yeah. Do other leagues do that, like to build up suspense? Now you got to wait 5 years for your guy to get into the Hall of Fame.
I think it's ridiculous.
What's the point of the waiting game?
Yeah, I know. There's no point
to do what he did,
Yep.
And then for them to pivot like that and say, well, hold on a second here, Johnny. This is almost impossible what he's done now. He's got to go in and bam, to slide like that. You had a good weekend here at Circa. Why is this one on the list?
Well, because
with casinos, and you can have some fun here.
Every casino should take a page out of Derek Stevens' book and realize you got to get asses in the seats. Get people in the building, give stuff away, and don't worry about robbing people and charging people an arm and a leg for stuff. What Slottapalooza was a huge win. The garage was at capacity at 6 o'clock. He had the open bar 7 to 9. He gave out the free play as well. Every machine was taken. It's just the stuff like that he thinks of, where it's like, don't worry about resort fees, parking, all this stuff, right? Coming in, it's $25 for a rum and Coke, whatever.
Sure.
Get people in. You're going to have a customer for life with stuff like that.
You would be astonished, Paulie, at the lack of like rewards that I've gotten over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yes, they're cutting that stuff out too.
Compared to the amount of play, like either at the sports book or on slots or at blackjack. And hey, by the way, here's $20 free play every month. What? Are you out of your minds? It's horrible. So we'll expand on baseball. That part of the weekend takeaways coming up next. 6 home runs off of this starting pitcher that he's going to face tonight. Details on that coming up here on VSiN.
Derek, what's the guarantee? Derek?
Mike, time to make history. Players in Circa Million make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries choose one team each week with no point spread. The last one standing wins it all.
We have $21 million on the line. Are you in? Visit circasports.com for details.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
Responsible sports betting starts with a game plan. That means stick to a budget. Keep it social by playing with friends. Learn the game and know the odds. Play with trusted legal operators. And if you need help, reach out. If you're getting in on the action, visit haveagameplan.org to learn more.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Full card today, Major League Baseball. Thank goodness. I don't think any of these teams need a day off after getting a week basically for the All-Star break. So they all played 3 games over the weekend. They're back at it again tonight. Now, this is interesting, Paulie, because the Pirates are taking on the Tigers. This is in Pittsburgh with Skeens going on the mound tonight for the Bucks. He gets Jack Flaherty. The Pirates were swept by the White Sox over the weekend. They've lost 9 out of 10 games. Yeah. And thanks to Skubal, who dominated last night, didn't get the win, but was awesome. The Tigers snapped a 6-game losing streak. Skeens has been really good at home. His numbers are actually better on the road, but still a 2.31 ERA and a 0.88 whip at home over 50-plus innings. And on the year, the ERA is pretty much exactly at 2. His WAR is at 4, which is highest out of any pitcher taking the mound today. In fact, higher than Zach Wheeler and Carlos Rodon. What do you make of the number tonight?
I don't want any part of Pittsburgh. No way, no how. They've lost 11 of 12 if you want to go back further. And it was a debacle at home against the White Sox. Got swept and outscored 27-7. And this guy has got a 1.49 ERA in his last 12 starts with 1 win. It's a joke. So you want to come back and say it's Flaherty, the bad pitcher in the rotation for him? Well, he's won 10 consecutive decisions against Pittsburgh. So he's got a 2.63 against them.
Well,
so
yeah, I mean, like
I can't do it. I don't. To me, you can't bet the Pirates, especially now with how poorly they're playing, and that you figure it's not going to get any run support for the guy.
I mean, this is so much respect for Paul Skeens. He's as high as minus 130 currently speaking in the market. Minus 130. That's full game, right? Open up about minus 125.
$1.55 first 5.
Yep. Total of 7 here. So how do you look at this with Flaherty? Because you can get to this guy, right? He can give up a lot of home runs. The flip side is what you just said. This team doesn't score for Skeens, and the offense is awful overall in general.
No, yeah. So think about that. A 1.49 ERA the last 12, and they're 500 in those cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And he only has personally 1 win. It's a train wreck and a travesty.
No, it's a stay-away game for me.
Yep. Yeah, maybe over, if anything. Over 7.
Yeah, if you can get there with the Pirates offense.
Uh-huh.
If you think they're going to give them some run support and score runs anyway. Can you believe this number tonight for the Phillies? Now, I know it's Walker Buehler going, right?
Yeah.
But look at this now on Zach Wheeler. He keeps taking money. He's minus 220 to win the game tonight.
Yeah, I think it has to have to be run line or Wheeler to register a win if you want to do that. The Red Sox got cooled off a little bit at Wrigley. They lost 2 out of 3. They have the toughest remaining schedule in the American League the rest of the way. And it's a tough stretch that they're going through right now. But I know what you're saying with the price, but Wheeler now the favorite to win the Cy Young, and I would go run line here with the Phillies, and that was a disappointing series at home against the Angels. But I would say $1.15 on the run line, and they should be able to touch up Buehler here.
And they should be able to.
They should.
Now Wheeler again, he's going at home, so for those in the audience who might be new to the show, new to the network, you might not understand like the home road splits here with a guy like Zach Wheeler. 10 home starts this year, and this has been a thing pretty much his entire career with Philadelphia. But this year specifically, in 10 home starts, he is 6-1 with a 1.91 ERA, a 0.73 WHIP, which is incredible, and 12 Ks per 9. Overall on the year, 9-3, 11.36 Ks per 9, and a 2.36 ERA. Buehler against this current Phillies roster, only a 2.35 batting average allowed, but no great shakes, only 59 plate appearances. A very low K rate of 17%, combined with a 14% walk rate. I'm with you. I think the run line looks a little tantalizing, as does, here's the thing, like how about Phillies first half minus a half a run or minus a full run, but minus half a run in the first 5 is minus 160.
Okay.
Because it is Wheeler at home.
Yeah. I like that too. They should be able to get to him and touch him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Props. Anthony's reached 13 games in a row, and he's going through a good stretch with the Red Sox right now if you want to play some of his player props. I will say it again. How are the Yankees favored?
Mm-hmm.
I know Gossman's got poor numbers against them, but they just swept them at home in a 4-game set. They're playing great ball, and Rodon's $1.20 against Gossman, and this has player props written all over it as well. Vlad's hitting .600 career against Rodon. Judge rakes against Gossman. They also walked him 8 times in the 4-game set. You want to play that prop? He was 6 for 10 with 8 walks when they got swept last time out. And Goldschmidt also has great numbers against Gossman. But again, they can't be favored in Toronto with how well they're playing.
I know. Well, the Yankees did take 2 out of 3 in Atlanta, but again, throwaway season for the Braves. The Blue Jays coming off the sweep of the Giants. By the way, that includes wins over Webb and over Robbie Ray. Both those pitchers actually took the loss. So the Blue Jays are up 3 games on the Yankees overall. They are tied with the Brewers and the Red Sox for the most wins in July. And that's the guy I'm talking about here. Judge, before the break, I told you somebody has 6 home runs off tonight's starting pitcher. That's him. He has 6 against Gossman.
Yep.
16 of 43 lifetime. But you're right. Not only, I think, going to war with Vlad tonight, 9 of 15 in his career, 3 doubles and a home run, total bases. How about the guy that you have brought up several times here in the summertime?
Big Earn.
When he faces lefties, Big Earn Clement. Now, against Rodon, only 10 at-bats, 3 of those for hits. But on the season, a .374 batting average against lefties, a .414 on base, and a 1,021 OPS overall. Mm-hmm. And this offense is scary good right now.
Yep, he has great numbers, good find there, good recall. And I can't go against a team that's won 32 of 45, and they've won 10 in a row at home. Longest since you got to go back to Exhibition Stadium in 1985 with those great teams they had in the 80s. So
again, going back, the Yankees' price to win this division is bonkers to me.
It is. I know. Yeah. How about the blackjack draft? The kid took him first overall with a $20,000 bet.
First of all,
they're not going to win a division.
How many chips did he end up with? 50,000 plus?
I saw he had a lot going to the final round. I don't know how you get 50,000 chips.
That's in the, 4 or 5 years they've been doing this? That's got to be one of the highest chip counts ever at one of these blackjack tournaments.
Did you lose 10 hands in a row?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, again, if the dealer's got a 20 or 21 every hand.
Sure. And by the way, the card count was completely in the table's favor. The first break is after 10 hands. I had the lead at the table, and the card count was completely in our favor. The next 10 hands I lost.
Yeah.
I'm out of the contest.
Terrible.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so in the blackjack draft, by the way, $20,000 free bet. Number 1 goes on the Yankees. Is it a $15,000 free bet for second place?
I believe so.
They took the Dodgers
at plus 250. I don't know.
To each their own.
I know. We'll see. Yeah. But the other thing is, I wouldn't say I have a lot of confidence in Cashman to do anything at the deadline either.
Oh, no.
That's another one.
I know.
So I think there's going to be other teams that are going to be active, and hopefully Toronto goes for it coming up at the deadline, and whether it's Steinbrenner and Cashman, I don't think the Yankees are going to improve this team.
Sure.
So I think Toronto's the real deal, and they're going to win the division.
So how about this now? Let's get into this Brewers game at the Mariners. It's Woodruff going against Kirby. The Brew Crew, again, the sweep over the Dodgers in L.A. this weekend. 12 wins in July. Now, this is a very small sample size, so I'm not going to get nuts here. 2 starts for Woodruff, 10.1 innings pitched, 15.68 Ks per 9. He's striking out everybody. 0 walks allowed. Some of this stuff is completely unsustainable. Like that. He will walk somebody eventually. He's allowing 2.61 home runs per 9. However, batting average of balls in play, home runs are not in play. They don't count there. 235, which is very, very lucky, and a 100% left on base rate. 2.61 ERA, but a 0.62 xFIP for this guy. Kirby had 3 really good starts in a row for the Mariners, and then in his last one, I think it was before the break, he allowed 4 earned runs in 5 innings at Detroit. And the Mariners here about $1.13 today.
Yeah, I give him credit. I mean, that was ugly in New York when they got swept and blew some games. But in the Woo start, or 5-0 in the 8th with the no-hitter, they lose the game. But to come back and sweep Detroit and then take 2 out of 3 against the Astros, good job. But again, Toronto's won 32 of 45. That's the second best record in that stretch. Here's the team with the best record.
Yeah,
right here. So I would take Milwaukee again, the way they're playing, and that was impressive to win 6 in a row against the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think anything plus money here. Plus 101 is good. If you can find higher than that, I think that's a good number as well on this team. And then what do you want to do with the Twins and the Dodgers tonight? Ohtani's going to go. This is a refresher course here.
Yeah.
First 2 starts, 1 inning pitched in each. The next 2 starts, he went 2 innings in each. Last start, 3 innings, 4 strikeouts. His K-prop tonight is 3.5 juice to the over, of course.
Yeah, you can find $1.65, which is kind of surprising, but the frustration is set in. I know Kershaw was pissed off. Dave Roberts said a lot of guys are frustrated. This shouldn't happen. I don't care who's hurt, who's out. You shouldn't lose 10 to 12 with this lineup and this roster that they have. So I think they come out with a big performance, and I don't want any part of the Twins. You lose 2 out of 3 to the Rockies. I mean, Joe Ryan's great. But if it's not Ryan, it's just I can't. I'm very surprised at this price. Even if Ohtani's only going to go a couple innings, it's still too low for me.
It's David Festa going.
Yeah. They're going to break out of it. Yeah, they're going to break out.
Are you concerned about the Freeman injury?
No, not really. It's going through one of those funks, But they got to watch out. They got to be careful here. In terms of, I think seeding's a big deal. And the Cubs have the easiest remaining schedule.
Yes.
Dodgers are top 5 as well. But Padres are right behind them now, too. And the Padres are 31-9 against teams with a losing record. Dodgers are 30-12 against teams with a losing record.
Very good. Up next, David Purdom joins the program. He covers sports betting for ESPN. We'll ask him about the story he wrote on a professional bettor who placed 30 bets on the same player in a 46-minute window. Little fishy here, boys. That's coming up next on VSiN.
Season the sharp way with a VSiN Pro subscription. Right now, grab our football special for just $175. An early bird deal that gives you full VSiN access through the Super Bowl. That includes our NFL betting guide, loaded with team previews, power ratings, and season-long best bets. Plus, pro picks sent to your inbox daily, betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, live shows on the VSiN Watch app, and so much more. Don't wait. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We're live, downtown Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. For those of you unaware of this story, we'll get into the update that we have on Terry Rozier, NBA player, by the way, who signed a 4-year, $96+ million deal with Charlotte back in 2022. At the time of the signing, his average salary was more than $24 million per year. He was traded to the Heat, been with that team since the 2023-2024 season. And David Purdom has been all over the story for ESPN. He joins us on the Progressive Guest line to go a little bit deeper here in detail. David, thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys.
So as your tweet said last week, a pro bettor placed 30 wagers in 46 minutes, all involving Terry Rozier, according to documents obtained by ESPN that reveal new details about the suspicious betting under scrutiny by federal investigators. For the people in the audience who are unaware of the story, can you give them the full backdrop of what took place on that day of the game?
Yeah, you got a flashback to March 23rd, 2023. Hornets are playing the Pelicans in New Orleans. It's kind of one of those late NBA season games that doesn't have a lot of meaning. Rozier, he's a veteran. He played 10 minutes before exiting the game, and he cites a foot issue. Nothing unusual there. Veteran guy, banged up late in the season on a team out of the playoff race. But what was unusual and what caught the sports betting world's eye is what happened earlier in the day. 6 sports books in multiple states reported seeing unusual betting interest on the under on Rozier props. So people were betting a lot more than usual on the under on Rozier, and he ends up leaving 10 minutes in. Among that unusual activity was what you mentioned happened in Biloxi, Mississippi. A guy, professional bettor, arrives at the sports book at Harrah's Gulf Coast early in the morning. He's there. First bet he places, according to the betting records, were at 9:37 in the morning of the game. He proceeds to place 30 bets, all on the under on Rozier props, totaling about $13,000. Under on rebounds, under assists, under points. Rozier leaves the game. He wins all 30 wagers.
Incredible. And when one big bet was made at the window?
Yeah, a $2,700 bet was the largest that was placed by the professional bettor, according to the betting records. He was one of the guys that has betting limits. He is restricted a little bit, so he was just trying to get as much down as he possibly could at that time.
Are you surprised they paid him?
I know Caesars, this is according to the records, the Caesars asked the Mississippi Gaming Commission to let them void the bets. Mississippi Gaming Commission asked them, hey, do you have any evidence of inside information was used? And Caesars did not produce any, and so they asked him to pay, and so they did.
So then after he made that one bet at the counter for $2,700, he then walked over to the kiosk and proceeded to make the following 29 bets at the kiosk there, so I guess nobody would notice?
It started actually on the kiosk because he got there before the sports book opens. He starts on the kiosk. About 10 o'clock, the sports book open. He walks over to the counter, uses his player card, places the bet, the largest bet that he placed there on Rozier, and then placed a few more afterwards back at the kiosk. So 29 of the 30 were placed up through those little self-serve kiosks that they have.
Do they know the reason why he stopped betting at the kiosk? Did he run out of money, or did they start to flag it at that point, take it off the board?
Yeah. I'm not sure. They did take it off the board eventually that afternoon, pretty much across the market. U.S. Integrity, the IC360 guys that kind of send out the alerts. They sent out an alert about 2:30 p.m. Central Time that day, and then right after that, pretty much the market was gone. No props on Rozier were available.
Okay, so he goes 30-0. He wins every bet. Rozier plays 10 minutes. My question to you is, how has the NBA cleared Rozier, but not the feds?
The NBA does not have some of the investigative powers that the feds do, right? They can't subpoena somebody's phone. So it's a lot of talking to the players, talking to agents, trying to gather whatever it is they can. Now, it is against the rules if a player is to have relayed information about his playing status to anybody involved in gambling. That's part of the gambling policy. We don't know what that's what happened. Rozier's attorney has said he had nothing to do with it. He doesn't know anybody involved in any of the gambling scandals that are going around. And so the NBA, I guess, did as much as they could and decided that he did not violate any of the rules.
Was he the only person who was doing this on game day, or was it happening with other groups, other people in other states?
6 sports books in multiple states. However, the alert sent out by U.S. Integrity, according to people that were familiar with alert, they did say that it happened mostly in Louisiana and Mississippi. The game there is in New Orleans, and I've heard reports that were people going to the counter down there at Caesars right there on Canal Street in New Orleans and placing these large bets as they could, trying to get down on Rozier.
Oh, my God. Oh, it stinks. It stinks. How about the guy you do all this for $13,000?
Well, you're trying to get as much as you have. You guys and I have talked about it. If you have some sort of information like that, guys are going to do whatever they can to get as much money down as they can. And maybe for whatever reason, he stopped at that amount. Maybe he was out of cash, or maybe that's all they were going to take that day.
You wrote this in the story as well. And by the way, it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, David Purdom, does a great job covering sports betting for ESPN, and he is on the Progressive Guest line. One of the paragraphs you wrote said that some of the same betting accounts that wagered on Jontay Porter also bet on Rozier props in the Hornets-Pelicans game, in addition to multiple college basketball games that were flagged for suspicious wagering activity over the past 2 seasons. Can you elaborate on that? What else might you know about that?
Yeah, so there is a gambling ring that we first became aware of with the Jontay Porter scandal. For those of you who remember Jontay Porter, he pled guilty to basically taking himself out of 2 games during the 2024 season to help his gambling associates, win bets on the under on his props. He has pleaded guilty to that, admitted that in court. Some of those same accounts, as it turns out, according to people familiar with all this, had bet on Rozier props as well, in addition to some of the suspicious college basketball games that have been flagged over the recent seasons. We had stuff at Temple, we had stuff at Eastern Michigan, stuff at UNO, New Orleans, Mississippi Valley State, North Carolina A&T. Those are all the schools that we've heard had suspicious betting and were, same betting accounts were betting on those games.
Well done.
Any of the same accounts, by the way, tied into Malik Beasley or the pitcher for the Guardians, Ortiz?
So the only tie we have at this time is that it's the same prosecutors out of the Eastern District of New York. They are prosecuting Jontay Porter, and they're also the ones that are looking at Terry Rozier. So Malik Beasley is getting looked at by the same prosecutors, so you would have to assume it's part of that widespread gambling probe, but that's the only ties we have at this time.
Do you have an update on Ortiz? And again, you don't want to sound the alarms or make suspicious bets, but if you're betting first pitch of an inning for a significant amount of money, I think that would do it. Any idea what those bets were in size and what an Ortiz update is?
Yeah, I have not heard exactly what the size was of the overall total handle, but certainly it was large enough to make some people suspicious, going, what's going on here? My understanding is they first noticed it in a June 15th game against the Mariners. This is a Guardians-Mariners game. Why is there suddenly a little bit more interest in this first pitch of this inning being a ball? Then they saw it again in June 27th, and this was against the Cardinals. Again, a lot of money or a lot of interest started showing up on an Ortiz pitch to be a ball or a hits batsman in this game, and then they sent out the alerts. And now Ortiz, he was first put on paid leave through the All-Star break. They went ahead and extended that leave through August 31st, while they continue the investigation.
Wow. Well, David, I think last time that you were on, I said I'm willing to bet that we're going to talk to you again by the end of the year for a player under investigation. I guess I'll talk to you next week.
Very possible. Very possible.
All right.
Oh, God.
Thanks, pal. Are we going to come out here for Bet Bash?
Yeah, I'll be there at Bet Bash.
Very good. See you then.
Excellent.
Thanks, David.
Great job.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Great report.
There you go. Yep. Follow him on X, by the way, at David Purdom, and you can read him at ESPN.
Guy uses his player's card.
Yeah.
The kiosk stuff, and then goes to the window for $2,700.
That almost makes me think that it was just random then, right?
Wow, the story was out. School was out on that. I mean, that's just, come on.
Now, here's the thing, too. And
I mean, 30, he wins every single bet, goes 30 and all.
I know.
Okay.
In 10 minutes, that'll do it for me.
I'm hurt, yeah.
So, but you said this last time David was on. You hate to get, involved with the, social media experts who are out there.
Yes.
But some of the videos I watched with Terry Rozier, it looked like it was AI. It was so bad.
Yeah,
I mean, the dribbling was just like, dude, have you ever played basketball in your life?
Yeah. He's made a ton of money too.
That's the.
And then the Pablo Torre report with this Moose guy that they tracked down, and they asked someone close to Beasley, "Do you believe this?" Yeah, he's dumb. He's stupid. He's capable of anything. Was the return text, but the Beasley thing in the one game where it's an 8-point game with 10 seconds, he goes the length of the floor and lays in at the buzzer to cut it on. They
covered the number.
Yeah, it covered as a result. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the Rozier thing.
Yeah.
Dude,
made a lot of money.
He was making on average more than $24 million a year. Win some, lose some up next. Upsets galore in the UFC over the weekend. Paulie shares the details coming up here on VSiN.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim is the only thing like it in the world.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup, then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Scheffler to win the Open Championship 6-1. And send in your tickets. Or if you saw what these paid, these are some, English winner without was probably 100-1, right? Maybe higher than that?
Well, he was, what?
He was 225, 250-1 to win the tournament?
Yeah, I saw him in that range. Could have been higher than 100-1 without him.
English got her up. Lee, top 5. What did those pay? Send those in as well. That's some.
Did
big
anybody
tickets.
have Lee top 5, honestly?
I'd like to see it. I know. No kidding. He was a big one as well. Scott to miss the cut, plus 230. Morikawa, thanks for showing up. Plus 260. He was awful. Can't lay.
You knew
plus
something was going on
220.
there, by the way. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Morikawa drifted to like 40-1 or higher to win the thing.
He had nothing. He was bad. So was Koepka.
Yep.
Which I know Indy Jeff faded him in every matchup as well. UFC. The Dogs were barking Saturday night. Johnson 6-1. Big upset. By decision 7-1. Rodriguez was plus 450. He beat Holland. He was 7-1 by decision. Pitbull plus 180. Costa plus 180 by decision 4-1. Carly Judice round 3 10-1. Last 8 fights went to decision. And I thought he got robbed. Out of the game for 4 years. It was packed here at Circa. Pacquiao, the Pac-Man against Barrios. Draw 16-1. A couple people on ESPN.com thought he won. A lot of people also thought he won. I did not see Barrios win in the last 3 rounds either. But it's boxing, so that's how it goes. You know, you're getting into some murky stuff and some wacky stuff. That's the deal with boxing. There's always controversy.
Yeah, when's the rematch?
Yeah. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. Down the street, Santa Fe Hotel and Casino. Fertitas own it. Station's property, obviously. Push 22 blackjack. The local hit the 4, 5, 6, 7 of spades. Awarded them 100% of the jackpot, $300,000. Are you kidding? $330,000 with that. Never heard of it.
So it has to be those 4 cards obviously to equal 22, and it could be any suit, or does it have to be spades? I'm guessing any suit.
I don't know. That I don't know. But that's,
imagine you get in another suit and it's only spades.
No kidding, right? That is wild.
Oh man,
that's what they had, and that's a huge progressive. For that.
Yes, it is.
And I never heard of the game either.
No, me neither.
That is wild. Great job. Look at this. The dog. The owner's cutting the grass. The dog refuses to move. So it's all over him. Just great. Buddy, you got to move. And I don't know. He likes it, whatever. He's covered in the grass. He's like, I think he's a bully, too. I don't know what he is. Pit bull, a bully. He's like, no, I'm good. I like it. I'm fine. And they scrape him off and they go for round 2. It's like, this is regular routine. He won't get out of the way when they're cutting the grass. I like it. He's covered in the grass. And this one takes the cake. You know, Newman from Seinfeld, I don't go out and work when it's raining. Well, it's raining. The dog has to do his business, right? He goes, I got to go to the bathroom. Oh, I need the umbrella. That little dog.
Come on.
Dog, yeah, come on.
And then he bites the umbrella. It's got a bone.
He bites it. There's a little piece of wood or a bone attached with the umbrella. Little umbrella. Is it a chihuahua? Little fella? Anyways, he goes, okay, lift the leg, go to the bathroom, good. There you go. Got the umbrella. The dog's got the umbrella. Going for a ride. I don't want to get wet. Yeah. If Newman doesn't work in the rain, I don't pee in the rain. Give me some cover. And he's got the umbrella.
Right, that is absolutely phenomenal.
How good is that one? We'll put that up later. Send that in. Andre will put that up. Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Strong. Here's what I was talking about. The NBA is a perilous trade, but this summer league. Friday, Magic 4.5 up to 5.5, lost by 23. Jazz plus 2.5, went off the favorite, lost by 13. Pelicans 2 up to 4.5, lost by 9. Lakers from 2 up to 3, lost by 22. Saturday, Knicks plus 1.5, went off a 5.5 point favorite, lost by 9. Raptors 3 up to 5, lost by 10. Pistons 2 up to 4.5, lost by 12. Blazers from 3.5 up to 5.5, 111 to 87. And yesterday, the Clippers from 1 up to 6, lost by 23.
Wow. So that's like 9 games right there, only over a 2-day span.
Yep.
Or 3-day span overall that had tons of CLV, and you just got buried on every single one of them.
Blasted. blasted. And that's how it started, too, with the moves in the Summer League. One that won, Boston plus 3.5 went off the favorite. They cruised to a 20-point win. And a Moose in D.C. Friday night. Total was 8.5 in the Padres-Nats game. 2-0 in the 8th. Nats tie it. I believe it was like Haley's Comet. I think the Padres did a suicide squeeze. And then Machado had a grand slam. 7-2 final. 2-0 in the 8th. 8.5 the total. You lost. Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't follow the market. They help shape it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books of full-time sharps all by yourself. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Backed by advanced AI and connected to trusted insider sources, the sharp plays delivers the kind of edge serious bettors can count on. Free betting reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights straight to your inbox or X feed. Not some side hustle. He's been doing it since 2011. Documented results, logs, and results and receipts. Sharpplays.com. Trusted by the pros, watched by the books. Visit sharpplays.com and stay ahead of the line. And also 30-35 to 1 on Charlotte. There's another one. Good job to win the Summer League.
All right. Overall, how was vacation?
Good.
Solid? Not
B+.
bad. We took I'll make a long story very short. We adopted a baby boy last year at 5 weeks old. His name is Sebastian. We named him that. We took him back to the region where we got him from for like 3 or 4 days. And among our stops was in Kansas City. And let me tell you that I hate it when people tell me like they blow like expectations out of the water. Oh, it's going to be the best you've ever had. And I hear that over and over again. You have to have this spot. You got to go there. We went to a spot called Q39 Barbecue. For people who are listening in that area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Lived up to the hype.
Does it come out in like a big,
oh my God,
basket portion?
So
tray,
on the here's what I loved about the menu. They only give you one option for wings. There's only one flavor. You can't ask them for mild, medium, hot, anything like that. No sweet chili, whatever. They call it the best wings you're ever going to have. And they're like the size of my head.
Okay.
We each took one bite. Lorraine and I did it at the same exact time, and we almost fell off our chairs.
Best wing you ever had?
Close.
Yeah?
Close. And then...
Food coma?
Oh, my God, for 3 days.
You got to be careful.
For 3 days? I'm not kidding. So I can't remember the last time I ordered a rack of ribs at a restaurant, but I was told, again, these are going to be the best ribs you ever had.
I bet.
So on the menu, it's like half a rack is $25. A full rack's $35. I'm like, we always get the full rack for $10 more. Well, for 2 people and a 14-month-old, we had enough food for 8 people, I think, overall.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And then the portion's always crazy when you see these pictures or whatever.
And I'm like, how is barbecue really going to last the whole weekend? So I'm trying to eat as much as possible. But as good as the wings were, and people again told me they're going to be the best ribs I've ever had. I'm like, calm down. You don't have to overhype it that much. I think the ribs were better than the wings. Awesome.
Good job.
Yeah, and I told you
I don't get a hankering for barbecue that much.
Neither do I.
It's kind of I classify it as how about Mexican tonight, right? And then I got the bad plumbing, so that's an issue. But Mexican, Chinese, whatever. But it's not enough. It's a bad job by me that I need more barbecue.
No, because it's
the portions are always good, but then it's also you don't know what to get.
Yeah, well, everything's usually good, though, too, at barbecue. But I'm with you on that because I know plenty. I could rattle off people right now who I know who probably grill out or eat barbecue 3-4 times a week. Like, how do you possibly do that?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, and then here's I know you love good mac and cheese. My problem is I know of like one spot right now, top of my head, that has like a home run for mac and cheese every single time they make it. Other than that, mac and cheese is average or below almost every time I get it.
Yeah.
I used to love mac and cheese.
I don't know how I don't know how the Italians do it. I mean, think about that. That's a heavy meal every single time. And if you got the mom who loves to cook, it's just like it's like the scene in Goodfellas. It's 3 a.m. Let me cook something up for you, right?
Sure.
And it's just like, okay, here comes the ziti and the bread and the meatballs. I got to do it all over again every single day. Nothing but carbs central.
Yep.
You don't have a chance if you're Italian.
Imagine the Italian Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
right. How do you possibly? How do you do that?
Oh, man.
Food's got to be ready by 10:30 in the morning, and then you just got to whack at it all day long until the final game is over in the NFL.
You walking around bloated for 2-3 days?
Mm-hmm.
Hating yourself, hating life.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Got a good meal, but you got to pace yourself. You get a little moderation. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Tough.
I told you I was going to read a couple of books. Then I realized again that life changes once you have a little one. I was going to try. My goal was to read 2 full books. I think I read like 150 pages from one book. That was it.
Yeah, you're drawing dead with that.
Yep.
Especially good luck reading Warren Sharp.
Yeah, no kidding. The Chiefs are set up to have perfect bulletin board material this year. Door 1 or door 2 is next.
Introducing the $500 trifecta. Use your GBank Visa signature credit card within 3 months of account opening and deposit